In this video, I'm going to show you how to use a soft wash system, a 12-volt system. You can use this with a booster pump. You can use this a lot of different ways. And so I'm going to show you how to do it and how to be able to clean this house with the different methods. Now, there's about 2 or 3 different methods that we can use to rinse. So the first method I'm going to do on this side of the house, this little section here, and I'll try to reach up there just so you can kind of see how well that works, is we're just going to use the soft wash system, the 12-volt system. I will go turn off all my chemicals to just have it water, and then that's how we will rinse it. So that is the first method we're going to do. The second method we're going to do is we're going to clean this with the soft wash system, and then we're going to use the 12-volt or the pressure washer. I have a 5.5 gallon minute pressure washer in there, and we're going to use that to do the rinsing on this side of it. Now, this is an aluminum siding. I'll do a whole nother video about aluminum siding, but I just wanted to kind of show you what the difference is. And then the only other option is to, with the soft wash system, is if we use a garden hose from their spigot and actually rinse it that way. So on my mixer valve, I'm at about a little over 1% on my soap. I am using some blue soap, so you'll be able to see where it is and that kind of thing. And then when I rinse, when we are cleaning, we're using, it don't matter if we're using a 12-volt or we're using pressure washer. When we're on our lower thing, we really don't want a straight stream on this. And when we're dealing with our 12 volts, we really don't want to be straight shooting. And on our valve, we either want it on or off. There's no in between. We really want it on or off. There will be some blue coming. I don't have much blue in it yet, but there is soap in it as soon as I come, because I primed it all and I did everything that I needed to do to prime it. So on our thing, we're going to make sure that our valve is shut down. So that's going to give us a nice spray, because again, remember, it's not the pressure that cleans this, and the reality is the chemical. So I already have some chemical in there, so I'm going to just put a nice coat on this house right here, kind of get in behind them bushes there, not getting too crazy, just a nice cleaning coat. All right, and then I'm going to make sure I get in behind that gutter there. I can shut this down a little bit, and that way I can clean up there a little bit. And then I'm going to see if I can reach up there and to clean that whole section up there. We're just going to put some nice coating on it there. And again, you can see that it's a little bit tougher because I don't have a lot of good pressure. And we're just going to put a nice coating all the way up through there. See if I can reach all the way to the top. My nozzle isn't, there comes my blue. That actually helped me out so I can see where I'm hitting. See if it's going to come up there. I don't think I'm reaching all the way to the top, but we're getting close. See if I can clean that nozzle out a little bit further to get up there. There we go. We're almost to the top. There we go. Now we're on the top. All right. And again, the blue is just so that we can kind of see where we're cleaning, where we haven't cleaned. I can shut that off. You can see that this is already starting to clean. Now, I always like to get in a habit of putting my chemical injector or my wand, especially with my roof pump, up against the house on concrete, something like that, that I don't have to worry about it going back, getting bumped on, turned on, and then we start running a bunch of chemical down, because that could be a really bad thing. So you can see how this cleans right up. So the next thing is I'm going to go turn off the soap. Once we got it all done, we can see that it's just cleaned up like so. It did like magic. That's what we want. Now, if we're just using the 12-volt system and to use it to rinse, we got to remember that we got all that soap that's got to come out of this line. So when I start here, I'm going to do it so that way we can kind of get a starting point and an end point, and that way I'll be able to tell you how long it takes to get this soap out of 200 feet. It's going to take a little bit of time to get it out of there. So some things that we can do with this soap is a couple things. One thing is we can obviously maybe go around to the next side and start. Maybe we shut it off halfway during the wall, and then that way we can get to the rest of the wall. One good thing to do with it is really hit those gutters again. Now, these got brand new brown gutters. We don't have to worry about them. But if they're white gutters and they haven't been cleaned in a while, this is a great time to go ahead and put that second coating on that gutter right there. So if we put it on that gutter there, then that way it will make sure it's clean. I also got a little spot over here that I see that I missed, so I will hit that spot a little bit too with it right here to make sure that we're good and clean over there. So again, I can hit my gutters again. We're going to see how long it's going to take for this to come out. I'll straight shoot it up there. We still got blue in it, so we know that it is still not come out. It's still got some bleach in it still. So once this line turns white, then we know that it is cleaned out and ready to go. So again, we can still see that we got blue in it, so we're not cleaned out yet. So we're going to just keep spraying. Like I said, we can spray our gutters, stuff along that. Like I said, we got some stuff over there. Maybe spray it again. And this way, it will help get this stuff cleaned out. And then that way, we'll be able to clean the rest of this house back off there. So again, it's still got soap in it, and we got to get the soap out of it. So we're just going to keep cleaning. Now we're starting to get a nice pattern of water coming out of it. So once we get that pattern, now we can go ahead and go back up here and start rinsing. So that's about how long it took just to get that soap out of that there. So we're going to go ahead and start rinsing. And you can see I'm having a little bit of trouble to be able to really rinse that up there. In fact, I didn't get some of it very clean up there at the top. I'd either have to hit it again or do something along that line. I can maybe try a different nozzle and see. The one reason why this is a 2.5 story, but where it sits back, that's why it's not able to reach it back here. So again, we're just going to rinse that real good, make sure we get all the soap off there, and make sure that the window, we're cleaning the windows real good, everything along that line. And then we can come down here, soap this here, and rinse this really good, get all the soap off. And again, I want to sit here. I don't want to spray too much that way. There's stuff. When we're dealing with plants and that kind of stuff, we got to make sure that we're not spraying the soap and it's actually beating that stuff on there and back onto the house. So again, we'll just get it all nice and cleaned up here. We're just going to rinse this all down. It's got a bunch of stuff. This is a 100-year-old house. It was built in 1907, so a very old house. It is vinyl siding. Or I'm sorry, it is aluminum siding, so you know it can only come so much clean. We'll do another video on vinyl siding. But again, you can see how long it's taken me to clean this. It does take a little bit of time to clean it, get all the crap out of the window here, get it out of here. Get it all gone. And we're going to come over here and do the same thing. And I want to show you how long it's taken with just doing it with the 12-volt system. You can tell it's taking a little bit of time. We're going to knock all these cobwebs off. But can I clean with the 12-volt system? Absolutely. Look at this house. It came nice and clean. And, you know, it looks good. I mean, almost don't even need to paint it. Now, you'll see in the front up here where some jacklegs use the pressure washer, and that's not good. Again, we'll make sure we get all that out of there. And there you go. Now you can see I might have to hit that spot right back there again. But this is how we can clean a house with just a soft wash system. Just a 12-volt system. You can see we turned it off, the whole 9 yards. Now, the next part of this video I'm going to show you is how did we clean it with a pressure washer as the rinsing aid, and you'll see how it goes a lot faster. Now, some things that we got to deal with is with the pressure washer is that we got to worry about You know, you really need two people. You don't really need two people. You're just going to, you know, wash one thing and then take your pressure washer and do it. If you have two people, then what you can do is one person can soap and then give it 5 minutes, and the other person can rinse. Once you get to the other end, you can start rinsing backwards, and then that way you'll hit a house done. And this is how we can get a house done in 30 minutes, 45 minutes with two people. So that is a way that we can do it really fast and get it done really quickly. So this system is going to be with the one pressure washer and the soft wash system. Now we're going to do it with a 12-volt system, and we're going to use the pressure washer to rinse. So now I've turned it off so that I can rinse, because I got to get my soap in there. So again, I'm going to kind of shut this down a little bit, and then I'm going to get a good wide film. Again, we got to get the soap out of here so we can see how long it's going to take to get the blue in here, so that way we'll know how long it takes, so that way when we are doing this, it will allow us to know that, hey, you know, we got to wait this long to get this. You know, it takes a minute for the soap, and I can actually see the blue coming through the line, and that way I know when soap is getting here, and that way I will be able to start cleaning with the soap side of things. So again, I still don't have blue yet, and this way, once I get blue up here, I will be able to start pressure washing and going. Now, we don't need a marker. I'm just doing it mostly for the video. You usually can tell once you get soap up here, and now we got soap. So again, I'm going to just put a nice coating on here. I don't have to get crazy. I don't have to over soak it. All I need is a nice coating on this house. I don't have to keep spraying and spraying and spraying and do that kind of thing. Now I'm going to kind of hit this side up here, get that all nice and soaked up. And I'm going to hit this one more time, and I want to hit this here so that way you'll be able to see the difference by me down or through the pressure washer versus doing it this way again here. So again, I'm going to let this sit and do its job. We still have to use dwell time to let this house do its job of getting the soap onto the house. We just can't hurry up and spray it. If we just keep spraying it, it's not really going to do us a whole lot of good. Today, we're actually about 50 degrees right now, so it's actually going to take maybe a little bit longer for it to work and get the job done. With that being said, you know, you can just see how this is just magic. Magic. It just goes right away. It's not about pressure. It's not me up here pressure. I'll show a video. I can show you a little bit of section right up here what pressure does. If we're looking right here, this is what a pressure washer does. You can see the little wand marks and everything up in that area. That's what a pressure washer does. We don't want to use pressure. We want to use low pressure. While this is still doing its job, again, we're going to let it sit. We don't want it to dry. If it dries, then that can be a bad thing. So we're going to let it sit long enough to work, but we're not going to let it sit to dry. If it starts drying on the windows, then maybe we need to take our pressure washer and we hit it. Again, this here is a 5-degree nozzle. I really like my 5-degree nozzle because I can wash all the way down this house. If our window's starting to get dry, we can just put a little bit of water on them and keep them wet. If we let that soap dry on that window, it's going to look like crap. And so we don't want it to look like crap, right? We want it to look good. So I'm going to start up here at the top. Hopefully the bottom will be done by the time I get done down here, and we'll be able to go. So you can see right here, the wind's kind of getting me. I can change to my straight nozzle. Now I can reach that whole upside of that house and just rinse down there a lot quicker than what I was doing with my pressure wash or with my soft wash system. You can see that it's cleaning a lot faster. So again, I can just sit there, rinse that all down. I can come right on down here, rinse this all down. make it look brand new, right? And that's what we want to do, make it look brand new. You can see I'll show the after. I can switch to my 5-degree nozzle. I can come right in here, spray all up in there, knock this down here. Got some mold right in there. Just hit it. You can see how much faster I can clean with a pressure washer versus no pressure washer. And it just makes that dirt go a lot faster, run a lot faster, and do it. You can see that if I was trying to do this with the soft wash, this would take me a lot longer because this one here is pretty dirty and it had a lot of mold on it, and that is what we're trying to get off here. So this is what a pressure washer can help us do, is speed up the rinse cycle. Actually, the bigger the pressure washer, the faster off we'll be able to rinse this. And so if we can rinse it faster, then of course time is money, and we can move on to the next house, and we can keep right on going. A 4-gallon versus 8-gallon, you'll know a difference. A 4-gallon versus 5-gallon, you'll know the difference of how much of a difference you're talking when we're talking about cleaning a house here. It really does make a huge difference when we're cleaning a house here, 4-gallon versus 8-gallon. Again, you can just see all that dirt running right off. No high pressure at all, zero, none. We don't need high pressure. High pressure, all it does is destroy stuff. So my pressure washer here, I actually got some nozzles that make me not high pressure. I'm about 80 to 100 PSI right here, and that is it. Now, I might have to hit that spot a little bit more because I might not have got it real good, and that's not an issue. Again, I didn't want to blow the paint off, and that. So, this, you can see why we would want to use a pressure washer to rinse. It really does go a lot faster. Now, we do have to have noise of the pressure washer running, that kind of thing, but the pressure washer really does help us speed up the cleaning process of the house. In my next video, I'm going to show you the difference between a soft wash system of a house and using a pressure washer with a downstream with the house.